I actually don't really make videos about cups that are not available anymore, as the Great League now is gone since basically one day, but today is an exception to this rule because we have some spicy gameplay from the Spicy Gecko here, as we're going to see here some gameplay with the Hisuian Growlith. This Pokemon is something I really wanted to try to get at least, while it was available in X, and I didn't get a good one sadly to showcase it myself, so seeing this entry now with a Hundo version of it is pretty decent. This Pokemon is getting to 1495 CP, so basically 1500 CP perfectly at level 50 at when you have like 100% IV there. So I really tried to get a good one, sadly wasn't able to, and now we can at least look at some gameplay here while they get walled by one Bastion. The team itself is most likely a little bit questionable. I'm not sure, like of course it does make it kind of sense to have double grass in the back, and it's also kind of nice that you hardwall the opponent there. Here of course a better swap would have been the charm user there of course, but Ice Punch still you can take one, you can go for one Frenzy Plant, and you should be able to hopefully still realign your Pokemon, but yeah, you will be able to shield up this move, going to be the Ice Punch. I don't think one Frenzy Plant knocks the opponent out here quite yet, but we will see. They're going to shield up, and I think they can farm you all the way down with counter now, which is not ideal. But we will see here now the Whimsicott coming in. Whimsicott would have been the better swap anyway, but yeah, I think they knew that as well. I think that was more an accident, but we will see here the Ninetales came back in and we see another Bastion coming in, which is going to be a tough one because, yeah, Bastion is seeming to be one of the hardest answers for this team as they're going to surrender again with their Hisuian Growlith. We will see next one here, Growlith against the Jellicent. Horrible lead, you can swap out into your Whimsicott trying to bait out the poison type there with the Nidoqueen. This doesn't look too good here as we will see the Hisuian Growlith actually going to be able to resist at least the poison typing of them, but they sadly bait you, which is not ideal. You will be able to just shield and farm them all the way down, I guess. They're going to go for the UF power now, but this doesn't look really too good either. So let's take a look what you can do still. We will be able to go for another Rock Slide, I would say. No, we're going to go for the Flamethrower here as the Scrafty comes in. Again, they have two shields, so I don't think there is a lot that you can do here. Maybe if you can catch something, maybe if they don't have, I mean, they're going to have the Shadow Ball the Shadow Ball anyway, so it's going to be a tough one here. We will see that you would have been able to go for the Friendly Plant still, but you still survive one Shadow Ball just barely anyway. And they can just farm you all the way down now, I think, and I think this game is most likely over as well. Again, a little bit of a tough one here, but we will see the Growlith coming in. Going to get bubble beamed, and you're gonna go down here sadly as we see the next opponent coming in. Can we at least get a 1-1 here with the Hisuian Growlith? Let's see. Next opponent going to have the Obstagoon in the lead. Horrible lead again. You can go into both of the Pokemon. Both of them are fine. You're gonna go into the Venusaur as a safe swap here. You will be able to go for one Frenzy Plant. I think Venusaur wins this match up pretty easily as you will be able to resist the counter damage, and you do enough damage I think after a while with your charge moves alone there, but we actually see now the swap in of the Skarmory. Skarmory is something that I really want to see with the Growlith here, as Skarmory is a Pokemon that will not take the Growlith on too well here. Going to have everything resisted from the Growlith here as this little boy. Look at this boy, he's so happy. Are you actually going to shield this move up? I actually wouldn't have done this here because you resist basically everything anyway. If they go for the Brave Bird now, then so be it. But yeah, at least I would have let the first move go through. As we see the Nidoqueen coming in, and I think this might be a loss again as this Flamethrower. Oh, actually no, they're going to let this move go through. This is amazing for you. You will be able to farm down with your Pokemon there, like with your Whimsicott, and you will have now this thing aligned against the Obstagoon. This should not be a Gang Shot, and it will be a Gang Shot. Oof, this hurts. Like having to face an Obstagoon in the lead and then they actually run Gang Shot in it. This is kind of wild, to be fair. Very sad there, but this kind of surprised me. We will see the next opponent here having a pretty decent lead for you, as well as a pretty decent save swap. They don't have an answer for the boy. The boy finally can have some time to shine here, it seems like. They can just go ahead and shield this move up, go for one Rock Slide here, try to get the final shield by the opponent. and they will actually knock them out as we see the Ninetales coming back in. But now you don't really have a Ninetales answer on the back, so maybe you should have actually swapped out earlier. Weather Ball comes through, doesn't knock you out, you can still get to one more move. The boy is finally putting in some work here, as we can now see that they swap into the Venusaur, which will be able to knock them out with one more Frenzy Plant there, as we will see Weather Ball coming through. Frenzy Plant coming through now. This will do enough damage to knock them out. Let's see what they have in the back. It's going to be a win here finally. No Gunk Shot can be thrown here. I think this is nothing where they can lose it anymore through some random circumstances, and they will be able to win this game with just 2 Pokemon as well, which is amazing. As we see the next opponent coming up now. It was kind of crazy though, the Gunk Shot. I'm still kind of terrified by that obstacle. We see the next opponent. We will see a Growlith against the Kaiwei Chang. You kind of want to swap out maybe here because you have an ABB line, but you're going to stay in, which is interesting. I would have swapped out into the Venusaur already, to be fair. Because ABB line, you kind of want to swap out earlier. You will be able to go for one Rock Slide now. This Rock Slide will do some nice damage here, and they actually let this move go through, which allows the little boy here to win this matchup. We see the Surf Edge coming in, which this is definitely not a Brave Bird, so you can let this move go through. They're going to run Night Slash here, which allows you to go for another Frenzy Plant. This Frenzy Plant will most likely get the shield there. I don't think they're going to, yeah, exactly. They're not going to go ahead and let this move go through. But we will see here now the Night Slash going to knock them out, as you can go and farm them all the way down. They actually saved this Pokemon with like 1 HP, as we see a Steelix coming in with the move Thunder Fang. This is something that I didn't expect here whatsoever, but the Grass Knot coming through, doing some nice damage, and you can go into your Growlithe. Maybe let this move go through. No, they're actually going to shield it up, going to be the Psychic Fangs. You will be able to... Oh, that's actually... This can be a little bit tricky now. Psychic Fang is going to knock you out now, as you will be able to now farm down, but they still have a move. But I think it's only Leaf Blade, so you will be able to win this game as well here. Good game there. The boy putting in some work again as well there. We see the Growlithe against a Skarmory. Perfect lead here. Most likely having 2 water types in the back, or at least the one. It's going to be a Scrafty as a Safe Swap here, which is amazing because you completely just destroy this thing with your Whimsicott. They can't do anything about it. You can just farm them all the way. And you will be able to now align also your Growlithe against them again. You're going to go straight for the Moonblast. Cove went literally straight for it. Literally doesn't really matter when you throw them nowadays, as we will see that you got them already low. The Growlithe will be able to take any move, and let's hope that the Venusaur on the back can handle whatever they have in the back. And I'm pretty sure this might be the case, as Venusaur is pretty strong against a lot of Pokemon, and we see the Nidoqueen in the back. This is kind of horrible. You're going to go ahead and go for the charge move here, the Rock Slide coming through. You have to swap out. You cannot swap out anymore, and now it's going to be tough. You have to let the first move go through, definitely. But can you reach 2 moves in time? I don't think you can. No, you cannot. Actually, I guess you had to shield the first move up, but I think even then it would have been tough. Because like this, they will be able to just farm you all the way down, and Venusaur will not have enough health left for you to win this game. I guess the pairing with both of them does make sense in terms of a type-based matchup, by the way, with both Pokemon in the back. Both of them resist the ground-type moves that you don't really want to face with your Growlithe. Both of them resist the fighting-type moves that you don't really want to face with your Growlithe. So it does make some kind of sense, but it's a little bit tough here, I guess. We see the Talonflame coming in. Talonflame is a Pokemon that will get completely hard-walled by the Growlithe, which is nice. They go for the Flame Charge, and you will be able to just farm them all the way down, I would say. You can take this move here. It's going to be a Brave Bird. You're going to shield up. I think it's also a decent decision here, as you will be able to reach another charge move here. We see a Lantern coming in. That's amazing for your Pokemon in the back. This is the cool thing about the Whimsicott. If Whimsicott had like Seed Bomb, I think it would have been one of the best Pokemon, like your best Charmers, that you could run, but like this, it's already pretty decent, as you're going to be able to just farm them all the way down. Just going to go for the Night Slash here from the opponent. You will be able to farm them all the way down just with your Whimsicott alone. And it's kind of hilarious, because now Whimsicott going to be the MVP here. It still might die from some sparks here, but I'm not sure. You're going to shield this move up as well. Okay, going to be the Surf. I think you will be able to farm down in time. Yeah. The Whimsicott is just putting in some work. I mean, you have a Charm user here. Charmers always can win some games on their own, basically. You see a Sableye in the lead. Maybe want to swap out. They were going to stay in here. Going to go for the Rock Slide, I guess. You can shield the first move up. Actually, do you win this in the 2-shield scenario? You do more damage with your Ember, I think, than they do with their Shadow Claw, which is kind of funny. But we will see the shield coming up from the opponent. You're going to try to catch the move, which works out really well for you. And at this health range already, doesn't really matter which Pokemon you put into against them, because it should be fine. As we see in the Bomber Snow coming in here, which is kind of horrible. They at least throw a charge move here, as they got also pretty low from this scenario already. You will be able to take this move, I think. You're still going to resist it, but no, you're going to let this, going to shield this move up. You will be able to farm him down. And we will see a Nidoqueen coming in, which you can now go for the bait. Doesn't really matter. Like, you should have went for the flamethrower instead. Yeah, doesn't, you don't get to another move anyway, so there was no point of going for that move, which now I think cost you the game as well, which is not ideal. But otherwise you would have been able to farm them all the way down already, and you might have been better off against the Sableye as well. So I think there would be some scenario where you could win this game, definitely. Going straight for the flamethrower was definitely the play, because you don't get to 2 moves anyway, so doesn't really matter if they shield it up or not. It always benefits you. As we can go into the final game, we see a perfect lead and a perfect save swap for you here. The opponent's Venusaur definitely don't want to see the Growlith here, as we will see them going for Obstruct, which is interesting, as Obstruct is not really the way to go. But they will be able to now go down, and you can go for a Moonblast against the opponent's Venusaur. Not the best either, but it's still going to do some damage if they wouldn't shield this up. But I think they're just going to try to farm you all the way down. I hope that they throw, which is amazing for you. We see the Friendly Plant coming through, and you can go back into your Growlith where you have to shield now. Friendly Plant is neutral, so this would do a ton of damage, as we see the opponent now going not down yet. You have to shield again, which is not ideal. Friendly Plant comes through again, and we will see the final Pokemon going to be a Registeel. You go for the bait here, which is, I guess, in this scenario really decent, because they're going to shield up anyway, I thought at least. But at least you're going to be able to catch the next move, and this basically secures you the final victory here, as you get the final shield with the Venusaur anyway. You have a move start already, and you should be fine here for the final matchup, unless there's something weird happening, which I don't really can see here right now. They go for the Zap Cannon. They don't put you in range yet where you they put you in range yet where you can go down from it, but one flamethrower will be enough to finish this Registeel off. So thanks for watching, see you in the next video. Thanks for sending in those battles. If you want to send in some battles, link in the description. Bye.